Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am here with my regular Wednesday morning live. I go live on both Facebook and YouTube. And usually I create a card. Sometimes I'll create a project. Today I'm going to be making a sweet, very clean but bright colored birthday card using the Celebrate with Tags stamp set. So I'm just going to switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. So here we go. As you pop on, if you want to say hi, I love to see who's joining me. It just says Facebook user, but good morning. Thanks for joining. So this is our Celebrate with Tags bundle. You get the stamp set with all these great sentiments and some fun little decorations in there. And then the dies that come with this are fantastic. You've got this one here that creates like a little, well, you can either do half of it and create just a basic tag, or you can create like a little gift card holder pouch. Let me see. I think I have a gift card here. I can show you. So you create this little pouch, and then that slides in to the little gift card holder, and then you can attach a little ribbon at the top and tie it onto a bottle of wine or something, and you can decorate it all up and everything. So super, super cute little gift card holder. Some fun decorations to create little snowflakes, big snowflakes, circles, rectangles, banners to match up with the banner on the stamp. And then we've got hearts and candles, the die cut to go around the balloons, a little mitten die cut, and then this cute little tag that can open as well. And what's great about this one is you can also cut it in half and just do one piece of it. I actually did that on my cards that I featured yesterday. Is I just lined it up at the top of my page when I die cut, so I just created one piece of it. So really, really fantastic dies in this set. It's kind of like you've got all your basic stitched shapes as well as all of your outlines and everything. So really loving these dies. Now, most of them are easy to use. They're big shapes. You can attach the snowflake with a mini glue dot. The circles, you can even throw dimensionals on the back, same with the hearts and mitten and balloon and everything. But these little candles are so sweet, but I wanted to show you a little trick for using these candles effectively. So that's what we're actually going to be creating today. So I'm going to grab, actually before I grab my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I'm going to grab the paper that I'm going to be using. I am going to be cutting candles out of white cardstock. And so this is just basic white cardstock, and I don't even know what this is cut at. And I don't have my grid paper today. This is 1 1/4, and then I don't know, the length doesn't really matter. 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. These were just scraps that I had in my drawer. But the key to this is before you cut out your candles, we're going to grab some adhesive sheets. Making tags. I know they take so long to make, but I love them. And sets like this make it way faster. So I've got some adhesive sheets. Now these come in 6 by 12 sheets, and you get, I think, 12 sheets in a pack. I always keep my scraps too, though, because they work perfectly when I'm doing a little project like this, in that this is a 1 inch wide strip. It's a little bit long, so I'm just going to grab my paper snips and trim it. And I don't even have to be super careful with my sizing here, because I just need the inside. I don't need it all the way out to the edges. And I'm going to make this basically into a sticker sheet. So I've got this adhesive sheet, and now this is always tricky when you're using scraps like this. I have to find the backing to pull it off. When you have a full sheet, it has little perforated lines and you can fold it and get it going. But when you have the small sheet, you've got to work a bit harder at it. And I'm just going to pop this right onto the back of my paper like this. Okay, so now I have a sticker sheet. And actually, I think I'm going to need to do a second one because I need to do more than one set of candles. All right, I think this one's already pretty much right. Good. So I always keep the scraps from my adhesive sheets because you never know when you're going to need to just do a small bit like this. All right. Now, when you peel this backing off, you're going to find one side peels off nicely and no stick, and one side is sticky. That sticky side, obviously, is what you're going to put down onto your cardstock. All right. And now I am just going to snip off the end of this because I don't want to accidentally put my candles where I don't have adhesive. All right. Fantastic. So with our sticky sheets on the back here, we're now going to roll these through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I can use my mini today for this because these are such small little pieces. So I've got my mini. I've got plate 3, plate 2. Let's see if I can get this into the screen for you guys. So plate 3, plate 2. Then my sticky backed, well, actually, let's do this one first. My sticky backed paper here. And I'm going to grab these candle dies and pop them on to the sheet that I prepared. And there we go. And we'll roll this through. So I put the sticky side, well, it's not sticky, but the side that has the adhesive sheet on it facing down. And I put the dies just on top of the regular cardstock. Actually, you know what? Because we have the adhesive sheet on there, I'm going to run it a second time just to make sure it cuts all the way through. You don't really have to, but I like to just to be sure. All right. Now, pop these off. And we are going to have to run those one more time, but we've got to get these out first. So I'll just grab my Take Your Pick tool and push that out. There we go. And all the little bits have stayed inside, and that's totally okay. Because when we peel the backing off, those are all just going to stay behind. Okay, there we go. And there we go. All right. Now I'm just going to bring my little garbage can in here quickly and pop out some of the bits that stayed in my die. You don't have to, but I find the die cuts better if you do. So I like to try and clean it up before we go again. So this Take Your Pick tool is really handy. If you don't have one though, you can grab a toothpick and it will do a similar job. It's just not quite as pointy. And it dulls quicker. Okay, a few more. So it's a little tiny bit finicky, but it's going to be so worth it, you guys, because these are such adorable little candles. All right. So while I do the next set, because I'm going to do the same process, I'm just going to die cut that sticky backed piece and all that. I'm just going to let you know that this Celebrate with Tags bundle is it's in our mini catalog, which means it won't be around forever. It will only be around till January. And so you definitely want to grab it because it does so much more than just like Christmas cards. It is a great birthday card maker, anniversary card maker, Valentine's Day, like just so many things that you can do with it. So definitely want to grab it before it's gone in January. I mean, you've got lots of time, but one perk to grabbing it now is that if you join my birthday card club, whether you join for the full 7 months or just for 1 month at a time, Celebrate with Tags is the first set that I'm featuring in that club. So I'm going to have lots of card ideas to go with that. All right, so there we go. Now we got to pop these ones out. I'm just going to pop out one of each and I'll save the others for later because I actually know that I don't need the second one of each of these. All right, now with that done, I am going to grab a scrap piece of paper, and I know I have a scrap paper here on my desk, but it's so pretty. I hate to get it messy if I don't have to. So I'm going to grab these little candles, 6 of them, 3 of each design, and we are going to color them. Now, you want to make sure that you're coloring the cardstock side and not the adhesive side. It's pretty easy to tell because the adhesive side has a little bit of a shine to it. And I'm going to start with my light Daffodil Delight. And I'm just going to color kind of the wick and the candle on all of my candles. Or, sorry, the wick and the flame. Oh my goodness. The wick and the flame. Oh, see, now that one, I can tell I had the adhesive side up. All right, there we go. So that was Light Daffodil Delight for all of those. Oh, good morning, Eileen. And while I have my Daffodil Delight out, I'm going to color one of my candles in dark Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to do one of my dotted ones. Now, once you've got your first actual candle colored, you probably want to pay attention to which designs you are coloring. So that you can create a pattern of stripes and spots as we adhere these. And I'm going to be creating a little rainbow. So I'm just going to pop those back up on my shelf. And my first one, I am going to do in Dark Poppy Parade. So because I did my yellow in dots, I'm going to do my Poppy Parade one as a dot one as well. So I'm just taking the paintbrush end of my blends. This is Dark Poppy Parade, and I am coloring my candle. All right, you can see why we want to do this on a scrap paper because it's making a big mess all the way through. So there's my Dark Poppy Parade. My next one is going to be Dark Calypso Coral. And of course, when you're creating your rainbow, use whatever colors you want, or whatever colors you have. And I'm just creating a full-on red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, orangey biv. And so let's see, green, I'm going to use Granny Apple Green. And again, I'm using my dark. The tip of this one's a little wrecked, but time to replace it, I guess. I'm a little rough on my blends sometimes. There we go. All right. Now, for this one, I'm not going to use the dark one, though. I'm going to use the light Tahitian Tide, and it's going to be a dotted one. You could use the dark, I suppose. I just find the dark Tahitian Tide is really dark. And I wanted this to be more bright, so. Oops. Flip back over, please. Thank you. All right, and you can do as many layers as you want and kind of let them get like darker in some spots, lighter in others. And then our final color is going to be Dark Highland Heather. Oh, bonjour, Martine. Okay, here we go. Highland Heather. Love this purple. Okay. And so I am just making it a little bit darker down on the bottom corner. I might actually go through and do that to all of my candles. Just add that little bit of shading to them by making the bottom right-hand corner just a tad bit darker. All right. It's going to be a very subtle thing. Most people won't notice that you've done it, but to me, I can see it and I like the look that it creates. There we go. And 2 more. Calypso Coral. I just like that it doesn't look uniform because otherwise really we could have cut these out of cardstock and then attached like a little piece at the top for the flame to have it a different color. So this just gives it that look, like it's not just plain old cardstock. All right. I didn't emboss the candles. No, I used the dies from the Celebrate with Tag set, and I put adhesive backing on the backs of them though. Aren't those amazing? And so the dies do all the work. I simply ran these through my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and now voila, I have 6 gorgeous candles. Love them. Okay, so with that done, I am going to grab a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white cardstock. Oh, have a good day, Martine. I hope it goes well. Catch the replay. Bye-bye. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put these on here. And so I'm just going to peel the backings off. I'm going to start on the right-hand side. Well, actually, I'm not really going to go right across. I'm going to start on the right and then pop back and forth. So as I peel that backing off, all the little spots inside come out, but just double check that they did all come out. You don't want to end up with any inside. Now that I've got my first candle placed, I'm going to put my paper onto my grid paper and line it up straight. So now I can come in with a ruler and put this underneath where I put my first candle. And I'm going to go back and forth. So now I'm flipping all the way over to the left-hand side. And I'm just peeling that backing off and all those little bits come out. And now, I need to stand up to do this. I can line this one up so it's at the same height as my one on the other side. Okay, so now I always like to start at that flame and peel that back, and then as I peel these off, all those little bits come out. And I realize some of you are maybe looking at this going, oh, Leah, they're not going to go all the way across. I know. I know it will not make it all the way across. That's perfectly fine. We want a little spot in the center where we're going to put our sentiment. Okay, so there. Now our next 2 candles, and then we can work on our sentiment. So I love how when you peel the adhesive back, everything just peels with it. All those little spots that were left inside just go away. There we go. And one more. So there are our 6 candles, and they're all nice and straight thanks to our grid paper and a ruler. So that is done. Now we have to work on our sentiment. Now I love this set because in addition to all the great shapes that we have, all those candles and balloons and like all of that stuff, we also have actual just plain old shapes, rectangles, circles, and they're all stitched. So nice. So I am going to grab a piece of basic black cardstock, just a scrap again out of my bin. I'm really using my basics, like my pre-cut bases that I always have on hand, and just scrap papers to make this card, which is my favorite thing to do because it helps me clean up my craft room, because I end up with a lot of scraps laying around. All right, so I got that one cut out. There we go. Put those away. So I did do a major overhaul on my studio, and it is actually in shape and up and running for in-person classes again. I am so excited. And so now I'm working really hard to keep it clean, because I did a full overhaul, emptied out drawers and everything. All right, so I'm using my Stampin' Emboss Buddy here, and this is available in our mini catalog as well. I sure hope it carries over to our next annual catalog, but we don't know yet. So I just used my Stampin', my Embossing Buddy, that's what it's called. And now I'm going to stamp the Let's Celebrate You using Versamark onto this piece of black. Okay. So There we go. All right, no, that doesn't go up there. The Versamark does. All right, now I found them when I cleaned. Told you guys I had them. I found my reverse tweezers. So I'm going to use those to hold on to that. I was so excited when I found them. They've been gone for a long time. All right, now with me holding that with my reverse tweezers, I am going to come in here. This is my Powder Pal. That's part of the whole embossing tools kit. And I'm going to get some white embossing powder on here. And I'm going to switch this around so I can come at it from a different angle. So I am a lazy stamper. I actually have more than one Powder Pal so that I can keep my two favorite embossing powders just in them, ready to go. So I keep my white and my silver, each in their own tray. And then if I have to use something else, I just use a scrap piece of paper and do it. But it's so rare that I use black or gold or anything like that that I don't worry too much about it. All right, so that is my embossing powder done. And I'm just going to give this one more tap, actually, just to get rid of some excess powder there. Although I use the embossing buddy, it likes to stick in the stitching. It might actually have been a good idea to emboss this first and then cut it out, but that's okay. All right, so with that done, I'm going to keep holding it with my reverse tweezers so I don't burn myself, and I'm going to melt this stuff. All right, so these tweezer tips do get very hot, so you don't want to touch them. The handle's fine, but the white part can get very, very hot, so I'm just going to release that. And then I actually have a little tray. It's just a box lid that I covered in tinfoil, and then I set them down in there so that they don't touch anything, burn me. All right, so that's all set to go. So we're going to flip it over and put some dimensionals on the back. Now you could probably get away with using minis on this because it's so tiny, but I'm going to do some overkill and use 3 large dimensionals because that's what I have right beside me. And we will then pop this right in the center here. I'm going to stand up so that I can definitely get it centered. Pop that right in the center. And now we are ready to attach this to a card base. So depending on what you like, you can attach this to a colored card base, or I really like putting white layers on white card bases. I love the white card base because it's easy to write in, and I have a whole bunch pre-cut right beside me. But I also kind of like that white on white look. It just looks really crisp and clean to me. And you can make it look a little bit special by using dimensionals on the back. A little bit of a dimensional freak. I use way too many of them. But that's okay. It makes everything pretty and fun. Here we go. Peel those off and pop that down. All right. And that's our finished card. I'm not even going to add any embellishments or anything to it. I think those candles just speak for themselves, and it's ready to go. So really, a little bit of die cutting, a little bit of finicky stuff with those adhesive sheets. But once you get those adhesive sheets going, like what an easy card, what a great card to create multiples of. Oh, thank you. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you found a new way to use this stamp set and die. So it's the Celebrate with Tags, and of course the fantastic dies that go with that. So yeah. Oh, thank you so much. So you guys have a wonderful day. I did put the links in the description of this video for joining my birthday card club, and also where you can go to pick up this stamp set. Now, the last thing that I didn't mention is that right now we have a starter kit plus promotion going on. So if you do go to make a purchase and you notice that your order ends up being really over $100, definitely give me a shout. Contact me through Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Send me an email. And ask me about that starter kit promotion, because you actually get $206 worth of product for $135, and this is Canadian. If you're in the States, go online and find an American demo in your area and ask them about it. The pricing is a little bit different in the States, obviously, but in Canada, $206 worth of product for $135, and that includes your shipping and taxes in most of the provinces. Some of the provinces you have to pay one of the taxes. So yeah, it's an incredible deal. So definitely check that out as well. And I will be doing a little video later this month giving a lot more detail about what it means to grab the starter kit and be a part of my team. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.